as we do in fact enter into the game.
And they're going to have to put up a pretty serious fight here, like you said, because they cannot drop another game if they want to keep their tournament hopes alive. It's going to be only losing because of ping on the Amber side, already getting plucked in here by the Deadlock Deepstate. Viscous, 1 HP, make it 0 as he finds his way out. Quig will get the last hit credit on that one. First blood over to the McGinnis.
And that is heartbreaking. It's a reason why movement is at a premium in this game. The Viscous couldn't quite get over that wall, and from there, what we saw is an early pickoff. The coordination of the McGinnis wall with the Bebop hook is absolutely crazy. And you look at where they're supposed to be assigned. This is a quick lane swap and a called shot by Deadlock Deepstate to make this play work out.
And I think that this is the combo we've seen a couple of times now, is that Bebop hook into the McGinnis wall, just isolating whoever gets pulled in even more from the rest of their team. You already feel like you're so far away from the rest of your team once you get hooked in, and now there is no backup coming. No projectile is going to be making it to you anytime soon. If a tank wants to dive to try to come save you, they're going to have to go either around or over the top of that McGinnis wall, and that is not an easy task here, but only losing because of ping. Do clap back here. Wilbo on the pocket brings down 2 members of the Deadlock Deepstate and finds their way back into the lane quite comfortably.
And what a good character to get those multi-kills on, particularly given how much Paradox and Wraith have been overperforming. Shutting down these 2 picks early is very, very good for losing because of ping, particularly because we also saw Ido once again get to their favorite character in the form of the Paradox, the one strength that I didn't think they had out of this draft.
And I do actually, as we're looking at who's playing what and where, I do want to call attention to the fact that it is a bit of a switch up here from the Deadlock Deepstate. So they picked the Infernus and the Wraith again, which we have seen from them before. But this time it's going to be the Wraith in one of the dual lanes here, paired up alongside the Paradox. Those are the 2 that just did get killed by that pocket. I'm not sure why they decided to move the Wraith over from one of the solo lanes into the dual lane. It looked like in the first round that we watched, things were pretty successful for them over there. You remember that they got that excellent first kill off onto the Vindicta and got a lot of momentum for their team. But now, playing in this dual lane, maybe just not as comfortable with the matchup.
I do think it is a matter of restacking so that you got that wombo combo of the McGinnis and Bebop together to a degree, and maybe as the dominoes fell, that's what kind of led to what we're seeing right now. It is still paying dividends. Deadlock Deepstate are ahead, and they have picked off Viscous yet again.
And that is that's a tough break for a Viscous, because you are a large player model, and that means it is going to be very difficult to make your way out of those hooks, especially if, even though you are playing on West Coast ping, you are still likely at a ping disadvantage. We're talking about very thin margins between seeing the hook come out and then trying to avoid it for a Viscous player. When you have that kind of big body like an Abrams, Mo and Krill, Viscous, Dynamo, that makes you much more susceptible to those relocation style abilities. So I think that it's even better for the Deadlock Deepstate to have stacked up these lanes the way that you were just calling out, just specifically because it gives them very nice targets to shoot at.
Well, we're 7,000 souls up in favor of Deadlock Deepstate right now, and we have to go back to that old chestnut of a question regarding this team. Kaizo, is it just because they're this good that they're able to draft someone irresponsibly? Or do they have maybe a meta read we just weren't expecting? Because this is utter domination out of a composition that, once again, I think is quite inferior to losing because of pings.
I think that the draft that we're looking at here, the difference between losing because of ping and Deadlock Deepstate, is going to be a conversation that we'll be hearing for quite some time to come in the meta. You have, on the one side, a team of Deadlock Deepstate who they drafted for the laning phase. They want to be able to secure, they want to be able to box in the laning phase. They do not care about the teamfight stage and say, we will get to the teamfight ahead, and then it won't matter what our characters is. Whereas losing because of ping have decided, well, we need to draft for the late game, we're going to get there at some point, all we have to do is hunker down and make it there. And yes, if they do manage to make themselves to the late game, they're definitely favored. I will 100% agree with you. But Deadlock Deepstate, a composition like this, will not make it easy for you.
Well, these are multiple lane guardians going down, and already that's the Deadlock Deepstate deep advance into enemy territory, as once again we see losing Ping lose 2 of their members. The Haze was gone, and with the Dynamo being taken out as well, we are seeing multiple people still not at their ultimate, while Deadlock Deepstate are once again happy to play hyper aggressive, look for picks and maybe even more. Pocket too deep in enemy territory, at one point losing Ping's main hope taken down.
And a great rotation there from Infernus. Dude man bro heads on over and pops the ult to make sure that he at least gets that revenge kill. Didn't quite manage to save the life of his Paradox teammate, but does manage to bring down the most farmed member on the enemy team, as they'll also grab a kill onto Mo and Krill here following that push there from Abrams. Looks like maybe a rotation from McGinnis to that solo lane on the right hand side of the map allowed that to happen. But they do have the cavalry coming in here. Dynamo and Pocket are on the way. McGinnis will buy them a bit of time, but I think that they've got a fight on their hands.
That being said, I think it's a fight that Deadlock Deepstate is going to relish to take. Dynamo ults coming out here, not a whole lot in the way of pulls. It is going to be swapped back with the Paradox. Now trying to push this even deeper. The Abrams has been taken down early in this one. Heals coming out onto the Pocket, keeping them topped off for a further advance into enemy territory. But Deadlock Deepstate are able to escape with only one person being dropped. And while this is happening, look at how far ahead the Infernus is getting in that solo lane, all by themselves.
Yeah, he is a big old boy over there. He is tipping his hat and farming every last minion in front of him, and nobody even close to where he's at in farm wise. He's got a 3,500 soul lead on the guy who's now rotating over to defend him. That's going to be a difficult undertaking if they can even manage it, as Mo and Krill once again just trapped in a corner here, beaten down in an alley by 3 people that didn't know that he was even there to begin with. It's going to be rough for the Mole to get back into this one.
An accurate representation of the New York experience. The 3-man mugging down an alleyway. This is unfortunate because that was just a matter of Deadlock Deepstate rebounding on the map. Abrams was the one that was killed in that earlier fight, and as soon as he's up, he's immediately getting value off of plays. Now, we do see Bebop getting chased down here. It looks like losing Ping are just trying to death ball. And speaking of death balls, we got a Viscous ult coming out here, and that will allow...
They're looking at this Infernus, but he might be a little big. It's gonna this krill who's on. He's got McGinnis pressed up against him. In addition to this Abrams, that dual lane over here on the right hand side of the map, very difficult for him to contend with. They will at least hang on to the Walker for the time being, but the Sapphire Squad, Deadlock Deepstate, excuse me, are definitely knocking on the door. And a great wall there from Quig will once again pull apart this Mo and Krill. Yoinked back in and shot down out of the sky is the Mole Man, and he will take another spill.
And we're at that point where you're able to defy the vast majority of MOBA conventions by being so damn ahead. You aren't supposed to hook a tank. That is rule number 1 of playing Blitzcrank in League of Legends. But here, Bebop is able to grab the Mo and Krill because they're so far behind, and now the Pocket's dead as well, as Wraith is becoming a split-pushing monster in their own right.
And briefly looking at a build here, Nyarko, since we haven't had the chance yet, might not get it now either, as Infernus taking a fight here with Mirage. 1 HP, this is the Fed member of Deadlock Deepstate, does finally go down to the Mirage, so that's a big kill for them to grab. But I do want to take a look at some of these builds, because that's been a main... Oh my goodness, another hook here. I'm not going to get the chance.
No, unfortunately, it's going to be a fight under the Walker, and that's Dynamo taken out. That being said, McGinnis traded here means that this is probably still a value-positive play for losing Ping. Trying to get back out onto the map, but Abrams with a shoulder check out of nowhere. Going to be able to pick off one, and maybe looking for more as well.
And he's going to go all in here onto what looks like Pocket. The sneaky little teleport out will get him out of there. And it's once again the Mole Man gets eviscerated between 2 members in that alleyway. Walker still standing, but not much can be said for the rest of losing because of Ping.
Yeah, this is Hans Moleman at this point for Mo and Krill, just getting blatted in the nuts with football, like in The Simpsons. Oh my goodness, this is a rough place to be. And the fact that Mo and Krill has died 4 times, yet still is not the weakest member of losing Ping is terrifying. Dynamo gonna try to find an engage here, opportunistically using that ultimate, but still, Deadlock Deepstate able to get away, not a whole lot of burst available for losing Ping. Dynamo manages to teleport back to safety, but Viscous is getting low, which means that this siege could fall apart in an instant as multiple members of Deadlock Deepstate continue to rally and try to push forward. Viscus, working as that bulwark at the front line right now, is going to allow for losing because of ping to time out this fight, but Deadlock Deepstate are pushed into enemy territory. They're just going to rotate and find another lane to besiege.
The question is, will they be able to lock down anybody? It looks like they're going to once again go for this poor Mo and Krill. A great cube there will save him for the time being.
That being said, McGinnis, being so durable, working as a pseudo frontline in her own right, is able to slow these matches down to a crawl, and that's very valuable for Deadlock Deepstate, dropping those turrets, making sure that there's no flank opportunity. This means now the Walker, alongside 3 members of losing because of ping, are going to be taken down, and this base is ripe for the taking very soon.
And they'll grab the Mirage as well as they open up that flex slot. Should be backing out here, going to need to push up some of those side lanes. I don't know if you saw, Pocket was attempting to get some farm on that right-hand solo lane on the far side of the map. And it's also going to be Haze split pushing, doing what she does best, spreading out the map, trying to spread out the resources of the enemy team. But all the while, the push has just been going straight down the throat for Deadlock Deepstate. They might lose Abrams, but I'm not sure that it even matters if they do. They've already gotten the Walker, some damage on the Shrine as well, and he gets shot off the zip line there. Brought down is Woohoo. A little bit overzealous, but can you blame him with the state of the game?
But the other thing is that in order to get somebody like the Abrams off the map, you got to send the whole goon squad their way. And while that's happening, Deadlock Deepstate are just able to take every camp on the map, able to keep all the other waves and lanes pushed in. And from that, no single person is lagging behind. Everybody can take massive fights in their own right, and only one person, in contrast, on the side of losing because of ping, is above 10k souls.
Looks like Deadlock Deepstate going for the earn run here. Losing because of ping are aware that this is taking place, but the question is, do they have the manpower to stop it?
Yeah, it looks like, given that a bomb has already been deposited upon the Mirage and they've already had to use their tornado, the answer is no. Not only is it going to be the urn deposited, but it's a kill alongside it, and there's actually pings and movements over to the mid-boss.
All the while, it's Abrams hunting
Oh,
down
no.
another big body. Dynamo is going to be next on the chopping block. Meanwhile, the rest of the squad grouped up in mid here. This is the same composition we saw from them last time. They got the Infernus and the Wraith and the McGinnis all paired together. Excellent damage on these mid-bosses, and losing because of ping obviously know this is happening, but I don't think they're going to be able to get in. They're going to try it.
And that's Pocket deep, but already CC'd, unable to try to grab the Rejuvenator. No miracle play to be had. Deadlock Deepstate now not only have this power-up, but also the ability to start crushing and crashing towards this base. Losing because of ping are going to have to mount a miracle defense here, and I just don't know what options they have with which to do so.
Well, if you've been listening to the desk at all, Mirko, it's definitely got to be this Dynamo, but wow, it is going to be tough to use it when you are pulled in and one-shot immediately down possibly their best siege defense tool. This one's going to look even rougher.
And so around the corner, they're going to be able to take out another lane's worth of Guardians, and with soon the Shrine's under siege and the Patron blown up, the real only answer from losing because of ping is to try to take a team fight so close to the base they're able to constantly heal up and bounce back out, but they are denied that opportunity yet again as it is fire from the sky. A Bebop hovering in the air, melting everybody, even the Viscus inside of the base may not be able to survive this onslaught.
Respawns are coming in here, though, from losing because of ping. Straight back to the base, though, is going to be this Pocket. Mo and Krill might be due to follow. Surrounded by 3, uses the combo, not enough damage, and it's 2 more down for losing because of ping.
Yeah, this isn't a combo in the sense that he's killing somebody. This is a combo as in put the fries in the bag. This game is over. 4 members of losing because of ping down yet again, and the Patron is soon to follow into its weakened form. Now, this is that last hope situation that I was talking about. If you get everybody up, you are so close to the base that you can constantly rotate in, get healed, and maybe from there take a fight. But already with the Patron Ball being dropped and it be taking less than half health, with the damage that Deadlock Deepstate has, there will be no shot at redemption.